The Ethereum price, Bitcoin price, and the crypto market in general looks like it's taking a bit of a stall on this mission towards the downside. With Ethereum pushing back above $1,000, are we going to continue to see Ethereum hold this ground, or is it all over? Well, actually, I think there's some other things that are happening in the market right now. Guys, I don't think anyone's looking at Ethereum and Bitcoin like this right now, because they're all focusing on things within the chart, the Ethereum chart or the Bitcoin chart, and they're not really thinking about fundamentally what's driving that process. So really, if we can understand what's happening behind the scenes, then I can tell you exactly what I believe is really going to be happening in the shorter term and longer term for both the Ethereum and Bitcoin prices. So guys, jumping in to the chart, this is on a weekly chart. You can see that we are showing this exhaustion towards the downside. Now that doesn't mean it's all over, because look above, guys, we had exhaustion up at these levels around $2,100 and then obviously continued further on this push towards the downside, but it will come to an end. What I'm really looking at, guys, and I sort of focus more on supply and demand trading. Obviously chart patterns do kind of show a little bit sometimes, but there's kind of a bit more of what the mind is wanting to see rather than looking at supply and demand. And you're probably wondering what supply and demand is. Well, this up here, guys, is a supply box. When the price reaches a certain level, people want to sell, people don't want to hold it anymore, so obviously the price comes down. And on the flip side of things, we're now looking at a demand box. And if we look back to what is happening in this area, then it gives us a bit more clarity on what a demand box might be looking like. So think about the story of what happens when a price is moving like this. Now we've got institutions and things in the market. They're the ones who are wanting to move the price up or down. So if we think about banks, etc., they want to buy at certain levels. They have clients who want to buy, and they want to buy on behalf of those clients at the very best prices. So we can usually find them when we're looking at the kind of the upscale, which is all the way back this time, sort of early 2021, which you're probably thinking is not important, but it's so important right now, guys, because it shows previously what people were prepared to pay for this asset. You can see that we had a big push towards the upside, but they came back to retest in a key level. So if we're looking at our supply and demand zone, then we can see where we want to be involved. And actually, the reason this on the way up in 2021, now bear with me because I'm going to show you exactly what's happening right now when we zoom across the chart. You can see that what happens when we have a big aggressive push towards the downside is we come back to retest that zone, and that's because they're refilling orders. They're not retesting a line of support or resistance. It might seem like that, but it's because they can't fill orders, or all the orders they want to fill at a price, they push up, they come back down. So this is why I know that this is my demand zone for Ethereum. And the demand zone for Ethereum is sat between $1,300 and just down below $853. Now zooming out further, let's drag this box across, and we're going to see something very interesting play out. Now, so guys, obviously, you can see wicks to wicks. I make my block around the kind of the bigger part of the noise here, and I can see came towards the top of it. So it's not just a single line of support or resistance that everyone's talking about, which is why, it's fine that Bitcoin broke below 20k. It doesn't really matter as long as we're really focusing on the zone rather than anything else. You can see, guys, this candle pretty much sits in this zone really nicely. As long as Ethereum is sitting above $860, it's basically just going to be in this accumulation zone. Something very significant is what's driving this and the whole pain within kind of not just the crypto markets, but all the other markets. And that is because we look at the DXY. Now, the DXY is the US dollar index. Now, basically, the globe is struggling. Obviously, we've had COVID, and we're now getting kind of like the knock-on effect of all of that uncertainty. We had a load of inflation. It caused interest rates to spike, and other things kind of adding to that uncertainty. If we zoom out on the DXY, well, you can see that we're now sat in this red box. Remember, the green box for me was my buy box. The red box for me is my sell box, because it's where we get into supply. And you can see on the DXY, it's pretty much the highest it's been since 2001. And we've got these exhaustion candles to the upside. Now, obviously, with regards to trading, there's no guarantee that you're going to be right all the time, and that's where people go wrong with trading, but we're looking at probability trades, okay? So I know that if I take high probability setups over and over again, then I'm more than likely to win the majority of them. If I'm winning 3-to-1 ratios, then obviously I'm going to be profitable majority of the time. So DXY is showing exhaustion. If we continue to push lower for the DXY and we're breaking out of a zone like this, then for me, that's where we're going to be seeing a push and the bull market beginning again for crypto. But I'm going to show you again, look at the Bitcoin chart. Very similar things happened. We had here our accumulation zone that happened over about a 4-week period, and then bang, straight up It didn't even come back anywhere near that for some sort of accumulation, just cracked on up. And then again, didn't really manage to get back to this zone because the bulls were in control. And then now we can see that we whipped down into this and we started to bounce up again off it, showing that the Bitcoin's starting to stabilize, and when Bitcoin's doing well, Ethereum starts to do well as well. And what I want to talk about, guys, this is the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, and this is what everyone, I feel, is kind of semi-getting wrong, because everyone's focusing on these lines. I've drawn this orange line because this is what would represent theoretically a line of support, okay? Because we came up, came back down, and we did touch pretty much perfectly the same place time and time again. And now, right now, we've pushed back below it. I want you to think about what banks and institutions are doing when the price is down here. They need to accumulate crypto at particular levels. Now, so if you were getting towards this orange line and you're looking to put in a long trade, many people would have put in a buy trade around here, and they probably would have put a stop loss a little bit underneath it so that we don't wick down into it. But, you know, obviously on the third attempt, or usually on the sort of third attempt, we do tend to wick down far more aggressively. And you can see this time and time again if you're looking at Forex and lots of other markets. And the reason they're coming down lower and lower is because it's more and more difficult to fill their orders. It doesn't mean, guys, because we've broken this line. This is not a solid line. No matter how many times people keep telling you about these solid lines in the sand, they're not solid lines. They're zones, okay? So I want you to think of these rather than just the solid line of a zone or an area, and it can be obviously varying in size, and we might see a push down below it, which is obviously collecting stop losses. Because what is a stop loss? It's a sell order, right? So if you've got a buy order in, and it pushes you down to where you get stopped out, that effectively will make it a sell order. And if someone's trying to get your crypto because they want to fill their orders, they're pushing the price down to create more liquidity in the market to fill their orders, and then they're going to continue towards the upside. I'm not going to say we're going to rocket up like this, and I'm just using this Ethereum Bitcoin chart to show you what's really going on. Right now when crypto gets punished, Ethereum struggles against Bitcoin, but actually we're seeing something a bit different here because we have seen Bitcoin creeping lower while Ethereum is looking a little bit on the stronger side. So what I'm going to look at, guys, is a shorter term chart for Ethereum and see what's really playing out within this zone. Now, until Ethereum is really breaking above $2,000, guys, it's pretty much still playing around in this zone down here. And you can see right now, yeah, we do have some sort of a trend line forming towards the downside, but trend lines don't always get respected that much. This is why I never really trade them. I'm more focusing now on supply and demand because it's been far more effective for me. However, you know, people are paying attention to this. People are going to be placing buy orders if we break through this yellow line, and then we're going to be pushing up towards sort of levels of around $1,300, which in terms of a percentage move is not necessarily massive, but we could be up around 12% in the short term. That's the exciting thing about being at this area in the market, guys, to make 12%. You've not looked at Ethereum for a few weeks and you've suddenly looked at it and you're thinking, oh my god, it's like $1,100. Well, yeah, it is right now, but the reason we don't want to take it out, guys, because if we push up to $1,300, which is still pretty small in terms of the Ethereum price, in my opinion, that's like 15%, okay? So when we think about the potential upside right now of risk versus reward, to even returning back to like all-time highs and things is crazy numbers. Because a few months ago when everyone wanted to buy here, people were comfortable buying here, yeah, they've obviously taken the pain, but if you buy right now, guys, and we go back to all-time highs, it's like a 338% return, which can easily happen within the year. Obviously, downside risk, but this is not really, but in my opinion, I could be wrong, I'm not a financial advisor, is Ethereum really going to go to zero? I really don't think it is. And yeah, it could push a little bit lower to maybe under $1,000, to under $800. But really, what are you risking, guys? You're risking trying to get in the very bottom in order to make, you know, the extra. And why? It's just basically being greedy, guys. I guarantee you would have felt more comfortable about buying around this time on the 18th of October when the price was sat at $3,700 than you're feeling right now. And that's because the market makes you feel like that. Unfortunately, we've got a brain that, you know, if we believe in evolution, which I do, comes from, you know, when we were far more basic creatures and we are basically designed to be scared of things and recognize patterns in things and basically all these other things. And we have a kind of like a simple brain that's designed to kind of run away and be scared when we have kind of things that make us afraid. And on the flip side of that, you know, when things are going well, we have this other brain that believes that it's just going to continue towards the upside, which is why we get greedy when it's going like this and why we, you know, just basically crap ourselves when it's doing this. So if you can do the opposite, guys, be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. Right now, fear is enormous in the crypto market. That's, for me, when we want to get greedy. That's when you should be getting excited. Back here, people were paying millions of dollars for pictures of rocks. Right now, everyone's telling you it's going to go to zero. If you look back at the Bitcoin chart, I made a video the other day about Bitcoin, and pretty much here, JP Morgan said that it was going to go to $300,000. But you know what happened straight after, and here again JP Morgan said that it was going to go to another like $180,000, and then what happened? These are banks that make billions of dollars a year. Do you really think that they're buying top of markets because they're going to go that big, or are they just trying to get you to buy so they can sell at these levels? And here they're trying to get you to sell so they can buy at the levels. The big banks and institutions are the ones who are controlling you guys, because they want you to buy from them here and they want you to sell to them here. No other banks will do it because the banks are too smart. So don't do the stupid thing, guys. Do the opposite. Think about what the banks and the big money want you to do right now, because they move the market. They're not there sat right now telling you that Bitcoin's going to go to 300,000, because they don't really want to tell you that. They want to tell you that Bitcoin's going to go to 8K so that you sell them their crypto, and then they can buy it nice and cheap, and then they can move the price up again and sell it at the top to the next crowd of people who are too greedy to realize what's really happening behind the scenes. Think about the big money, guys, and you will not go far wrong. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed that content, and if you have, make sure you smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, because it helps me out more than you know. And if you are new to the channel and you want to learn more about Ethereum, Bitcoin, and the rest of the crypto market, then make sure you subscribe, and I will see you very soon with another video. Bye.